What's going on, everybody? This is Finn again. If you hadn't already, please like and subscribe to the video if y'all enjoy it. I've got a little rant today. We're going to be talking about this isn't going to be a fishing video or a Panoptix video or crappie fishing. This isn't going to be a bait making video either. This is just a rant video on tournament fishing. So, it's just forewarning you guys, this is going to be it. But this right here, I seen posted on social media. Unless you've been, so let me start over. Unless you've been living under a rock or you're a caveman, you've heard about all the tournament cheating, the problems with tournaments, the problem with sponsors, the problems that non-tournament fishermen, that says that tournament fishing has ruined bass fishing as a sport. I agree with that, but before I talk about this, I want to talk about this that I seen from a avid tournament fisherman that has devoted his life to tournament fishing, and this is something that he posted. I don't know about y'all, but when you spend $250 or more entry fee, $150 gas and boat, $85-ish in truck, so he's talking $235 in gas between his truck and his boat, $300 a motel, $100-ish eating out groceries, vacation days to travel, so he's taking off work, using his vacation days, pre-fish, and you win a couple $100 or worse, zero. That was my sign that tournament fishing is not what it used to be. Too much money to spend and too many cheaters to just give my hard-earned money to. I wish my buddies a great successful 2023 season, but as for me, I'm going to fish for fun and enjoy the outdoors. A whole lot cheaper and less stressful. Tight lines is what he said. Now I'm going to save his name because I didn't ask if I could share that, but he shared it on social media, so I'm just going to leave his name out, read what he wrote there. But that's how I felt for years after, what little bit of tournament fishing that I'd done. It basically turned into a job, and that's what today's video is about, is how much tournament fishing grew, and now it's basically taken a crash. And I felt like this was worthy of a video because so many people misunderstood my last video about the tournament, the update that I done on the tournament fishermen. It was more of a rant video. There's a lot of fake news that went online. Some people said that the charges was dropped. Some people said that they, sentences reduced. They pled not guilty. I haven't really followed it, and I don't really know why that video picked up so much steam after 2 or 3 months of it being posted. The time that I made that video, the rumor was that the charges was going to be dropped, and I was kind of angry when I heard that, so I made that video. And it went 2 months with basically hardly any views, and then all of a sudden it got like 20,000 views overnight, and it's continually grown. So for 1 out of 1,000 or 10,000 people that watched that video, I had a couple negative comments. I understand you're gonna get that with YouTube. Some people they totally miss it, but I want to clarify that, and I wanted to make this video a little bit different and say that this is just a rant. This is just something I want to get off my chest. This is something that I felt for years that was going to happen, and how I felt years ago. And between all the electronics and all the sponsorships, people pumping money into these guys, people giving them boats, these guys are making a real good living bass fishing tournaments. And it does sound like a dream to make a living by bass fishing, but on the other hand, to me, it become like a job. That's the reason why I don't tournament fish. It lost the fun, so to speak, whenever I decided to, and that's when I decided to quit tournament fishing, is when it become not any fun anymore. It started to feel like a job. The other reason is because of financials. It got to where it costs so much money, and it's hard to compete with guys that have, endless amounts of resources to put in their boats and endless amount of time to pre-fish tournaments whenever, I was having to work for a living. So that's the reason why I don't tournament fish, and I think a lot of guys are feeling that, especially after, what started it was the walleye tournament cheaters, And then that made that just kind of exploded the videos and things. We online, people talking about tournament cheaters, and people started listening to that. I mean, I've always heard stories about tournament cheaters, and it's just I just kind of brushed it off as well. You can't really prove that, to where it's now like, yeah, it's been proven people cheat in tournaments. And when you're spending that much of your hard-earned money and you devote that much time to it, it's hard to compete with guys that if you can't trust if they're not cheating. Now, I'm not saying everybody is. I'm not saying that a large number of people are. I'm just saying that there's an amount of people that's cheating that makes it to where you just can't trust it anymore. And in a way, I feel like it's a good thing, because so many fish, I'm pretty conservative, but so many fish are caught and relocated, and they spend time in live wells. They get gut hooked. I've caught fish before that have hooks in their mouth, where people left a hook in their mouth, and it could have been from a line break or something like that. But there's just, the fish nowadays are worried to death, and all these businesses, these boat manufacturers, outboard manufacturers, electronic manufacturers, rods and bait companies, they basically have built their business off of a natural resource. And that resource is a wildlife. And to me, I kind of think that, I may lack better words on this, but I just think that there should be more laws, so to speak. And I have to think about that before I say it. That's the reason why I kind of stall. I want to say the right thing, because there'll be 10 people that'll tell me, how stupid I am in the comment section for saying something wrong without thinking about it. So I have to think. But 99% of people watching my videos are good people, and I appreciate y'all. I appreciate the ones that subscribed. I appreciate the ones that like the video. That's what really helps my videos grow. And when you subscribe, you get to see more of my videos, and you may not be into the bait making, or you may not be into crappie fishing, but it helps my channel grow. It doesn't cost you any money, so if you don't mind, go ahead and doing that. But back to what I was saying is, this is becoming a big thing, and I kind of see it as good for the bass fishing community. So many of these greedy corporations are using bass fishing, our natural resource, something that God gave us. They're using that to build their business from. And it wouldn't be so bad if you've seen them, these companies making hundreds of thousands, millions of dollars, and multi-million-dollar companies. I know a small bait company that does over $1 million a year, a very small bait company. And that's not hard to do. I'm talking about a very tiny bait company. So just imagine what big bait companies, I'm not going to name any names because I don't want to call anybody out individually, but they're all doing it. And the thing is I don't see I'm not going to say that nobody ever has, but I'll just say this. You never read about how some big box store, you can name 2 or 3, you know which 2 I'm talking about, or any big bait company, any major bait company has put, restock these lakes or anything like that. You don't see any of that. You just see them pulling money and making money and advertising and making it to where if you don't drive a brand new 20, 23, 27 foot with a 700 horsepower or whatever, then you can't catch any fish. And I think that's wrong. They make you feel like that when you fish a tournament, if you got an old boat, everybody else has got new boats, you feel pressured to buy that kind of stuff. And honestly, you can catch fish. You can have just as much fun. I've caught bigger fish out of an aluminum boat than I ever have any fiberglass boat. And the aluminum boat was maybe $1,200, where the other one, I fished out of boats that were 120 grand. It's just, you don't have to have all that to fish. Spend time with your family, have fun. And we definitely don't need any more companies exploiting our natural resources, and we definitely don't need anybody else cheating. But I think with time, everything comes to light. And I think during this time, it's come to light just how dirty tournament fishing can be. I'm not going to say that all of it is. There's good people out there, and I don't want to take away from those. I don't want to take away from the tournament trails where they're helping people, and it doesn't matter if you get any of that money back, because they're helping families, they're helping flood victims, they're helping hurricane victims. Those people are out there, and man, my hat's off to you. I appreciate that. That's the good part about it. But it just seems like that good part is just this much of it. And there's, this much of bad stuff going on, people getting filthy rich, our lakes. You just don't, we have the best. I'm just going to use this for example, and I'll shut up. But I have what I believe is some of the best electronics on my boat. I don't have the newest boat, I don't have the newest motor, I don't have the best of anything. But I have Garmin LiveScope, I've got down imaging, side imaging, I've got a good trolling motor, spot lock, it's quiet, got good GPS, I've got good graphs, I've got, in my opinion, the best that I need, and I really don't need that, but I have the best that I feel like that I need. And we have the best technology, and yet the crappie, I used to see on old flasher units, you just see crappie stacked up, and these old Walmart graphs that was just one color, and it would actually show the little fish on there instead of the arch. You'd see them just stacked up crappie, and you'd catch crappie all day. And I can pull into a slough or creek, and I can scan the whole creek and see 5, 6 piles of crappie. And when you go in there and catch them, they're small. You might have a few big ones. People are just, there's just too many people out here doing it, and there's not enough people pumping back in the resources that we need. And I'm no marine biologist, but if you're killing fish and you kill them by the hundreds or thousands, after years of that, it's got to take a toll on the population. Even if those fish are being released back into the water, how many of those fish actually make it? And how many, that's a number for God to answer. But in my mind, it's like, it can't be good. And if we were doing it for fun, if we were doing it for food, that's one thing. But we're doing it, and other people, these big corporations that just don't give a dang about our lakes, how dirty they are, how clean they are, or how populated they are, or anything. They just don't give a dang about us. They just want the money. And I want to mention 2 other things. CJ Knight, the guy I went to school with, he's a very smart man. He's an engineer. He does a lot of, I'm going to call him an outdoor journalist. And he feels the same exact way about tournament fishing. And he has the same exact opinion that, my opinion, the other guy opinion that I read at the beginning of the video. And it seems like more people are feeling this way. The real outdoorsmen are feeling this way. And I just, I really don't know what I'm trying to get at this video, but I just kind of wanted to rant, to kind of get some of that off of my chest, and I feel way better now that I've done that. Now, if you stuck around this long, I appreciate you watching. But the next post that guy posted, and I'll end this video with this. The next post that the guy posted was, I wish I would have never wrapped my vehicle because the adhesive has ruined my vehicle and my truck. I mean, my truck and my boat. So therefore, he was pulling the wraps of all of his sponsors off of his vehicle and boat. And I'll end it with that. And I'm kind of glad, I will say this, I'm kind of glad to see that. If you stayed this long in the video, I appreciate y'all watching. May God bless each and every one of you. I'd appreciate if you'd hit that like and thumbs up, share the video. Let me know what your opinion is, if you agree with me or if you disagree with me. I want to hear from my viewers. I want to hear that, yeah, Trey, I believe you're 100% right, or Trey, I disagree with you 100%. You're absolutely wrong. I want to hear it. Until next time, guys, be safe.